Weakness is not just a lack of strength, it's a vulnerability of the mind. It is the crack in the armor through which the world pours in its cruelty. Machiavelli understood that in a world ruled by power, survival belongs to those who erase their weakness, not those who plead for mercy. This video is not about comfort. It is not about hope. It is about transformation. If you truly want to become someone unbreakable, if you want to turn every fracture into steel, then listen carefully. This is the art of erasing weakness, not by hiding it, but by destroying it from within. 1. Accept that no one is coming to save you. The first and most merciless truth you must face is this: no one is coming to save you. Life is not a story where a hero arrives at the last moment to pull you from the fire. Machiavelli understood that dependence is the breeding ground of weakness and the beginning of every downfall. When you wait for someone to rescue you, you hand over your power, your time, and your future. The world does not pause for your suffering. It does not care about your tears or your dreams. It only responds to action. Every opportunity you long for, every victory you imagine, must be carved out with your own hands. When you absorb this truth fully, something shifts inside you. You stop pleading for salvation and start forging your escape. You stop hoping and start building. You begin to treat your life as a battlefield where hesitation is not a mistake, but a death sentence. Strength is not gifted to the chosen few. It is seized by those who refuse to kneel. And in that ruthless clarity, your weakness has nowhere left to survive. 2. Harden your mind through discomfort. Weakness feeds on comfort like fire feeds on air. Every time you choose the easy path, every time you seek safety over struggle, you dull the blade of your mind. Machiavelli knew that a leader who grows soft in luxury becomes a slave to circumstance. It is hardship, not pleasure, that tempers steel. If you want to erase your weakness, you must learn to live in discomfort until it becomes your teacher. Seek the choices that grind you, the paths that strip away your illusions. Wake before the sun when your body aches for sleep. Speak hard truths when fear commands you to stay silent. Act decisively when your heart trembles in doubt. Every moment of discomfort is a strike of the hammer against the fragile shell of weakness. With each blow, you burn away softness and expose the steel beneath. Pain is not your enemy, it is the forge. And when you step willingly into it, you do not simply survive, you become unbreakable. 3. Master the power of detachment. Attachment is the chain that quietly binds you to weakness. You cling to people, possessions, and outcomes, believing they define your worth, and in doing so, you hand over your power. Machiavelli understood that a leader must see the world not through the lens of desire, but through the cold clarity of reality. To erase weakness, you must master detachment, not indifference, but control. You must be willing to walk away from anything, anyone, and any situation if it threatens your strength. This does not mean you lack love, loyalty, or passion. It means you refuse to let your foundation rest on anything the world can rip away. True power belongs to the one who can stand alone without breaking, who can lose and still remain whole. Detachment frees you. It allows you to act with precision rather than desperation, to see the battlefield as it is instead of through the fog of emotion. When you no longer need anything to define you, the world can no longer use anything to destroy you. That is the beginning of real power and the end of weakness. 4. Turn pain into strategy. Pain is inevitable, but weakness is optional. Every wound you carry holds two paths. One leads to destruction, the other to transformation. Most people let pain consume them. They bleed into their own lives and become prisoners of what hurt them. Machiavelli understood something far more ruthless. Suffering can be converted into power if you refuse to waste it. To erase weakness, you must treat pain as raw material, not a curse. Every betrayal teaches you where loyalty truly lies. Every failure is a map revealing where you were blind. Every heartbreak carves lessons about control, resilience, and self-mastery. You cannot erase what you have endured, but you can weaponize it. Do not let your scars rot in silence. Study them until they become blueprints. Let every ounce of suffering sharpen you, make you more calculating, more aware, more dangerous. When you turn pain into strategy, you are no longer a victim of life. You become its architect. Weakness dies the moment you use what tried to break you as the very thing that builds you. 5. Build an identity that cannot be touched. Weakness thrives when who you are depends on what you have. Titles, possessions, relationships, validation, these are fragile pillars, and when they fall, the person leaning on them collapses as well. Machiavelli warned that true power comes from within, not from anything the world can give you. To erase weakness, you must create an identity that exists beyond loss, beyond circumstance, beyond fear. Build yourself on principles no one can steal: discipline, self-control, mastery over your emotions, the ability to adapt under fire. Become the kind of person who could lose everything and still remain dangerous, still remain whole. When your sense of self is forged in something untouchable, the world cannot threaten you. It can strip you of wealth, status, or comfort, but it cannot bend the core of who you are. That is where weakness ends, not in gaining more, but in becoming someone who can never be broken, no matter what is taken away. 6. Learn to control perception. Power is not just about who you are, it is about who the world believes you are. Machiavelli understood that perception is a weapon sharper than any sword. Weakness often hides in the need to be understood, to be seen exactly as you are. But the strong know this: reality matters less than the image you project. To erase weakness, you must learn to control how others see you. Show strength when you feel doubt. Display calm when chaos surrounds you. Reveal only what strengthens your position and conceal what could be used against you. People act not on truth, but on perception. And when you shape that perception, you shape reality itself. The one who controls the narrative cannot be controlled, and weakness fades into irrelevance when you become the author of how the world sees you. 7. Make fear work for you. Fear is not the enemy, it is a tool. Machiavelli famously wrote that it is safer to be feared than loved when you cannot be both. Weakness comes from letting fear paralyze you, from seeing it as something to avoid instead of something to wield. To erase weakness, you must first master your own fear. Study it, face it, strip it of its power, and then learn how to create it in others, not through cruelty, but through presence, strength, and discipline so undeniable that people hesitate to cross you. Fear keeps enemies at a distance and commands respect without a word. When you learn to harness fear instead of running from it, you not only kill your own weakness, you make the world afraid to exploit it. 8. Think 10 moves ahead. Weakness lives in reaction. The strong do not react, they anticipate. Machiavelli taught that power belongs to those who see further than others, who play the game while everyone else plays a single move. To erase weakness, you must train your mind to live in strategy, not impulse. Before you act, think. What comes after this? Who gains? Who loses? And how does it shift the battlefield? Every choice must serve a larger plan, even the smallest gesture. When you start thinking not of today, but of the chain of consequences that follow, you stop being a piece in the game and become the one moving the pieces. The weak are always surprised. The strong are never caught off guard. 9. Destroy the need for approval. One of the deepest roots of weakness is the hunger for validation. You want to be liked. You want to be accepted. But Machiavelli understood that power and approval rarely coexist. When you live for the opinions of others, you hand them control over you. To erase weakness, you must cut out this need like a disease. Build your decisions on what strengthens your position, not what earns applause. Learn to endure being misunderstood, even hated, if it means staying true to your purpose. Approval fades, but respect built on strength lasts. When you no longer require the world to approve of you, you free yourself from its chains, and in that freedom, weakness cannot survive. Number 10. Become ruthless with your time. Time is the most powerful resource you have, and how you spend it determines the strength of your life. Weakness leaks through wasted hours, through distractions and indulgences disguised as living. Machiavelli would tell you that every moment is a move on the board, and every wasted move is a lost advantage. To erase weakness, you must become ruthless with your time. Cut away the people, habits, and activities that drain you without return. Guard your focus like a fortress. Use every hour to sharpen your mind, your body, your strategy. Time is not just passing, it is either building your empire or eroding it. When you master time, you master yourself. And weakness has no room to breathe in a life where every second is used with purpose. Weakness is not erased in a day. It is a ritual, a choice, a war you fight every moment. Machiavelli did not write for the faint-hearted. He wrote for those willing to cut away every lie they've been told about kindness, luck, and salvation. The truth is this: the world will not bend to you. You must bend yourself into something the world cannot break. If this message struck something deep inside you, do not just watch this video. Live it. Start today. Start now. Break the chain. Forge the blade. Erase your weakness and become what you were always meant to be: untouchable.